Hey there, language enthusiasts. Ever felt like your words just don't have the punch you want? You're not alone. Many of us struggle to make our speech more colorful and engaging. But what if I told you there's a secret weapon that can transform your everyday talk? That's right, we're diving into the world of idioms today. These little phrases pack a big punch and can really spice up your conversations. So, are you ready to take your language skills to the next level? Let's jump right in and explore how mastering idioms can make your speech truly impactful. First things first, what exactly are idioms? Simply put, they're phrases that mean something different from their literal meaning. For example, when we say it's raining cats and dogs, we don't mean actual pets are falling from the sky. It just means it's raining heavily. Idioms add flavor to our language, making it more interesting and expressive. Now, why should you care about using idioms? Well, they can help you sound more natural and fluent in English. Native speakers use idioms all the time without even thinking about it. By incorporating them into your speech, you'll blend in more easily. Plus, idioms can help you express complex ideas in a simple, relatable way. Let's look at some common idioms and how to use them effectively. Break the ice is a great one to start with. It means to make people feel more comfortable in a social situation. You might say, to break the ice, we played a quick game at the start of the meeting. Here's another useful one. The ball is in your court. This idiom comes from tennis and means it's your turn to take action or make a decision. For instance, I've sent you my proposal. The ball is in your court now. To be on the same page is an idiom you'll hear a lot in work settings. It means to have the same understanding or agreement about something. You could say, let's make sure we're all on the same page before we start the project. It's raining cats and dogs doesn't mean animals are falling from the sky. It just means it's raining heavily. Break a leg isn't wishing harm, it's actually a way to say good luck. These are just the tip of the iceberg, which, by the way, is another idiom meaning a small part of a larger situation. Now, let's group some idioms by theme. First up, idioms about time. Time flies means time passes quickly. In the blink of an eye suggests something happens very fast. Better late than never encourages doing something even if it's delayed. Moving on to money idioms. Costs an arm and a leg means something is very expensive. Penny for your thoughts is a way to ask what someone is thinking. Put your money where your mouth is means to support your opinions with action. Let's talk about idioms related to feelings. Feeling under the weather means you're not feeling well. On cloud nine suggests extreme happiness. Sick and tired expresses frustration or boredom. Work-related idioms are quite common too. Back to the drawing board means to start over. Climb the corporate ladder refers to advancing in a career. Think outside the box encourages creative thinking. Nature provides us with many idioms. Barking up the wrong tree means pursuing a mistaken course of action. Can't see the forest for the trees suggests missing the big picture. Every cloud has a silver lining means finding something positive in a negative situation. Food idioms are particularly tasty. A piece of cake means something is very easy. Spill the beans means to reveal a secret. In a nutshell is used to summarize something briefly. Sports give us some great idioms too. Ball is in your court means it's your turn to take action. Hit it out of the park suggests doing something extremely well. Down for the count means defeated or close to giving up. Let's not forget about animal idioms. Let the cat out of the bag means to reveal a secret accidentally. When pigs fly suggests something will never happen. Fish out of water describes someone in an uncomfortable situation. Now, let's look at some less common idioms. Burn the midnight oil means working late into the night. Cut the mustard means to meet expectations. Shoot the breeze refers to casual conversation. Remember, context is key when using idioms. Break the ice in a social setting means to get conversation going. But in shipping, it literally means to break ice to clear a path. Some idioms have interesting origins. White elephant refers to a useless or troublesome possession. It comes from a legend about the king of Siam giving rare albino elephants to courtiers who displeased him. Riding shotgun means sitting in the front passenger seat of a car. This comes from the days of stagecoaches when an armed guard would sit next to the driver. We'll start with idioms about time. Time flies, time passes quickly. In the nick of time, just in time. Better late than never. It's better to do something late than not at all. Once in a blue moon, very rarely. Moving on to idioms about money. Break the bank, to be very expensive. Penny for your thoughts, asking someone what they're thinking. Cost an arm and a leg, to be extremely expensive. Bring home the bacon, earn money to support your family. Let's look at some idioms about success and failure. Hit the nail on the head, to do or say something exactly right. Miss the boat, to miss an opportunity. Bite off more than you can chew, to take on more than you can handle. Get your act together, to organize yourself. Now, idioms about relationships. Tie the knot, to get married. See eye, to agree with someone. Give someone the cold shoulder, to ignore someone. Break the ice, to start a conversation in a difficult situation. Idioms about feelings and emotions. Butterflies in your stomach, to feel nervous. Blow off steam, to release anger or frustration. Wear your heart on your sleeve, to show your emotions openly. Jump for joy, to be very happy. Let's explore idioms about work. Burn the midnight oil, to work late into the night. Pull your weight, to do your fair share of work. Think outside the box, to think creatively. Climb the corporate ladder, to advance in your career. Idioms about life and experiences. Learn the ropes, to learn how to do a job. Take the bull by the horns, to deal with a problem directly. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Don't risk everything on a single venture. When life gives you lemons, make lemonade, to make the best of a bad situation. Now, let's look at idioms about communication. Speak of the devil, when someone appears just as you mention them. Read between the lines, to understand hidden meanings. Put in your 2 cents, to offer your opinion. Actions speak louder than words. What you do is more important than what you say. Idioms about problems and solutions. Back to square one, to start over. Bite the bullet, to face a difficult situation. Kill 2 birds with 1 stone, to solve 2 problems with 1 action. The ball is in your court. It's your turn to take action. Let's explore idioms about decisions and choices. Take the plunge, to finally do something you've been considering. On the fence, undecided about something. Burn your bridges, to destroy all means of going back. Cross that bridge when you come to it. Deal with a problem when it arises. Idioms about progress and change. Take baby steps, to progress slowly. Turn over a new leaf, to make a fresh start. Go back to the drawing board, to start planning again from the beginning. Rome wasn't built in a day. Important work takes time. Now, let's look at idioms about difficulty and ease. It's not rocket science. It's not very difficult. A piece of cake, very easy. Easier said than done, more difficult to do than to talk about. No pain, no gain. You have to work hard to see results. Idioms about secrets and honesty. Let the cat out of the bag, to reveal a secret. Wear a poker face, to hide your emotions. Come clean, to admit the truth. White lie, a harmless or small lie. Let's explore idioms about health. Fit as a fiddle, in good health. Under the weather, feeling slightly ill. An apple a day keeps the doctor away. Eating healthy keeps you well. Laughter is the best medicine. Laughing makes you feel better. Idioms about luck. Knock on wood, to avoid bad luck. Break a leg, good luck, often used in theater. Hit the jackpot, to have great success or luck. Lady luck, personification of good fortune. Now, let's look at idioms about food. Piece of cake, something very easy. Spill the beans, to reveal a secret. In a nutshell, to sum up briefly. Take it with a pinch of salt, to not take something too seriously. Idioms about nature. Every cloud has a silver lining. There's always something good in a bad situation. The early bird catches the worm. The one who arrives first has the best chance of success. Make hay while the sun shines. Take advantage of opportunities when they arise. Bark up the wrong tree, to pursue the wrong course of action. 1. Time-related idioms. Time flies, meaning time passes quickly. In the nick of time, just at the last moment. Once in a blue moon, very rarely. 2. Money-related idioms. Break the bank, to be very expensive. Penny for your thoughts, asking someone what they're thinking. Put your money where your mouth is, to take action to support your statements. 3. Animal-related idioms. Let the cat out of the bag, to reveal a secret accidentally. Hold your horses, wait a moment or be patient. When pigs fly, something that will never happen. 4. Food-related idioms. Piece of cake, something very easy to do. Spill the beans, to reveal secret information. In a nutshell, to sum up briefly. 5. Body part idioms. Lend a hand, to help someone. Keep an eye on, to watch carefully. Play it by ear, to improvise as you go along. Now, let's look at how we can use these idioms in everyday conversations. Scenario 1. At work. Instead of saying, the project is very expensive, try, this project will break the bank. Rather than, I'll help you, say, I'll lend you a hand with that report. Scenario 2. With friends. Instead of, it rarely happens, say, it happens once in a blue moon. Rather than, tell me what you're thinking, ask, a penny for your thoughts? Scenario 3. In a debate. Instead of, prove what you're saying, challenge someone to put your money where your mouth is. Rather than, let's wait and see, suggest, let's play it by ear. Remember, the key to using idioms effectively is context. Don't overdo it, sprinkle them into your speech naturally. Practice using a few idioms at a time until they become second nature. Now, let's play a quick game. I'll give you a situation, and you think of an idiom that fits. Ready? 1. Your friend is always late. Answer, better late than never. 2. You're trying to solve a difficult problem. Answer, it's not rocket science. 3. You're very busy at work. Answer, I've got my hands full. How did you do? Don't worry if you didn't get them all. Learning idioms takes time and practice. Here are some tips to help you remember and use idioms. 1. Create flashcards with the idiom on one side and its meaning on the other. 2. Watch English movies and TV shows, noting down any idioms you hear. 3. Try to use at least one new idiom in conversation each day. 4. Join language exchange groups to practice with native speakers. Let's start with some common idioms you might hear every day. Break a leg. No, we're not wishing harm on anyone. It's actually a way to wish someone good luck, especially before a performance. Weird, right? But that's the beauty of idioms. Here's another one. Piece of cake? No, we're not talking about dessert. It means something is very easy to do. Like, that test was a piece of cake. Now, let's move on to some idioms about time. Ever heard someone say, time flies when you're having fun? It means time seems to pass quickly when you're enjoying yourself. Or how about, in the nick of time? That means just at the last moment, barely in time. Speaking of time, let's not beat around the bush. Oh, there's another one. Beat around the bush means to avoid talking about something directly. We're going to cover a lot of ground today, so let's keep moving. Let's talk about idioms related to money. To cost an arm and a leg means something is very expensive. To make ends meet means to have just enough money to pay for the things you need. And if you're bringing home the bacon, you're earning money to support your family. Now, how about some idioms for success and failure? If you hit the jackpot, you've had a big success or made a lot of money. But if you miss the boat, you've lost an opportunity. And if something goes down like a lead balloon, it's been completely unsuccessful. Let's switch gears and look at some idioms about feelings. If you're on cloud 9, you're extremely happy. But if you're down in the dumps, you're feeling sad. And if you see red, you're very angry. Here's a fun one. To have butterflies in your stomach? No, you haven't swallowed any insects. It means you're feeling nervous or excited about something. Now, let's explore some idioms about relationships. If two people hit it off, they like each other and get along well from the start. But if they're like cats and dogs, they don't get along at all. And if someone gives you the cold shoulder, they're ignoring you or treating you in an unfriendly way. How about some idioms for difficult situations? If you're in hot water, you're in trouble. If you're between a rock and a hard place, you're in a difficult situation where both options are bad. And if you're burning the candle at both ends, you're working too hard and for too long. Let's not forget about idioms related to communication. If something is Greek to me, it means I don't understand it at all. If you put your foot in your mouth, you've said something embarrassing or offensive without meaning to. And if you're all ears, you're ready and eager to listen. Now, here's a challenge for you. Try using some of these idioms in your everyday conversations. It might feel a bit strange at first, but practice makes perfect. And speaking of practice, let's look at some more idioms you can add to your repertoire. If you're pulling someone's leg, you're joking with them or trying to fool them. If you let the cat out of the bag, you've revealed a secret. And if you're barking up the wrong tree, you're looking for something in the wrong place or accusing the wrong person. Here's an interesting one. It's not rocket science. This means that something is not very difficult to understand or do. On the flip side, if something is a tough nut to crack, it's a difficult problem to solve. Let's talk about some idioms related to change. If you turn over a new leaf, you're making a fresh start or changing your behavior for the better. If you're going back to the drawing board, you're starting over because your first attempt didn't work. And if you break the ice, you're making people feel more comfortable in a social situation. Now, how about some idioms for decision-making? If you bite the bullet, you decide to do something difficult or unpleasant that you've been avoiding. If you're on the fence, you can't decide between two options. And if you take the plunge, you decide to do something even though it's a bit risky. Let's look at some idioms about honesty and dishonesty. If someone is pulling the wool over your eyes, they're trying to deceive you. If you'd come clean, you admit the truth about something. And if you're caught red-handed, you're caught in the act of doing something wrong. Here are some idioms about effort and hard work. If you pull your socks up, you make an effort to improve your work or behavior. If you burn the midnight oil, you're working late into the night. And if you go the extra mile, you make a special effort to do or achieve something. Now, let's dive into some idioms about success and achievement. If you hit the nail on the head, you do or say exactly the right thing. If you're climbing the ladder, you're advancing in your career. And if you break new ground, you do something new and innovative. How about some idioms for difficult people or situations? If someone is a pain in the neck, they're very annoying. If you're walking on eggshells, you're being very careful not to upset someone. And if you're stuck between a rock and a hard place, you're in a difficult situation with no good options. Let's look at some idioms about knowledge and understanding. If something rings a bell, it sounds familiar to you. If you get the picture, you understand the situation. And if you put two and two together, you understand something by considering all the information you have. Here are some idioms about time and timing. If something happens once in a blue moon, it happens very rarely. If you do something at the drop of a hat, you do it immediately without hesitation. And if you're burning daylight, you're wasting time when you should be doing something. Now, let's explore some idioms about problems and solutions. If you nip something in the bud, you stop a problem at an early stage. If you bite off more than you can chew, you take on more than you can handle. And if you kill two birds with one stone, you solve two problems with one action. How about some idioms for describing people? If someone is a dark horse, they're a person who keeps their skills or achievements secret. If someone is a wolf in sheep's clothing, they pretend to be good but are actually bad. And if someone is the life of the party, they're the most fun and entertaining person at a social gathering. Let's look at some idioms about progress and obstacles. If you're making headway, you're making progress. If you hit a snag, you encounter an unexpected problem. And if you clear a hurdle, you overcome a difficulty. Now, here's the million-dollar question. How can you remember all these idioms? Well, Rome wasn't built in a day. That means great things take time. The key is to start small. Pick a few idioms that resonate with you and try to use them in your daily conversations. As you get more comfortable, add more to your repertoire. Remember, practice makes perfect. As we wrap up, remember that using idioms can make your speech more engaging. But don't go overboard, or you might end up confusing people instead. Use them naturally and in the right context for the best effect. Now, let's talk about how to learn and remember idioms. One effective method is to group them by theme. For example, you could learn idioms related to colors. To feel blue means to feel sad, while to be green with envy means to be very jealous. Another great way to learn idioms is through context. Try to notice idioms when you're watching movies or TV shows in English. Pay attention to how they're used and in what situations. This will help you understand when and how to use them yourself. It's also helpful to practice using idioms in your everyday conversations. Start with just one or two and gradually increase as you get more comfortable. Remember, it's okay to make mistakes. That's part of the learning process. Here's a tip: keep a small notebook or use a note-taking app on your phone. Whenever you come across a new idiom, write it down along with its meaning and an example sentence. This way, you'll have your own personal idiom dictionary to refer to. Now, let's address a common concern. What if you use an idiom incorrectly? Don't worry too much about this. Most native speakers will appreciate your effort to use more advanced language. If you're unsure, you can always ask, "Is this the right way to use this idiom?" Native speakers are usually happy to help. It's important to note that idioms can vary between different English-speaking countries. An idiom that's common in the US might not be used in the UK or Australia. So, if you're learning English for a specific country, try to focus on idioms used there. Let's practice with a few more idioms. To bite off more than you can chew means to take on more responsibility than you can handle. You might say, "I think I bit off more than I could chew by agreeing to organize the entire event by myself." Here's a fun one. It's not rocket science. This means that something is not very difficult to understand or do. For example, don't worry about setting up the new TV. It's not rocket science. To kill two birds with one stone means to solve two problems with one action. You could use it like this: by carpooling to work, we're killing two birds with one stone, saving money and reducing our carbon footprint. Now, let's look at burn the midnight oil. This one takes us back to a time before electricity. People would burn oil in lamps to work late into the night. Today, we use it to describe working very late or studying hard. If you're up at 2 a.m. finishing a project, you're burning the midnight oil. It's a vivid way to express dedication and hard work. Here's an interesting one: beat around the bush. Picture someone poking at a bush instead of going straight for what's inside. That's what this idiom represents. It means to avoid talking about something directly. Maybe you're nervous about asking for a raise, so you talk about everything but that. That's beating around the bush. It's a great phrase to use when you want to tell someone to get to the point. Let's move on to cost an arm and a leg. Don't worry, no limbs are actually involved here. This idiom is used to describe something extremely expensive. That fancy new smartphone? It might cost an arm and a leg. It's a colorful way to express shock at high prices. Next up is cut corners. This isn't about actual corners, but about taking shortcuts. When someone does a job quickly and carelessly to save time or money, they're cutting corners. It's often used to describe shoddy workmanship or lazy efforts. The contractor cut corners on our kitchen renovation, and now we're facing problems. It's a useful phrase when you want to point out subpar work or effort. Here's a fun one: throw in the towel. This idiom comes from boxing, where a fighter's team would literally throw a towel into the ring to give up. Now, we use it to mean giving up on anything. After hours of trying to fix my computer, I threw in the towel and called a professional. It's a great way to describe admitting defeat in a vivid, visual way. Let's talk about jump on the bandwagon. In the past, politicians would ride bandwagons through town, and people would literally jump on to show support. Today, it means to join a popular trend or activity. Everyone's jumping on the plant-based diet bandwagon lately. It's perfect for describing how people often follow what's popular. Here's one you might not have heard: knock it out of the park. This comes from baseball, where hitting a home run means knocking the ball out of the park. We use it to describe doing something extremely well or successfully. She really knocked it out of the park with her presentation at work. It's a great way to praise someone's outstanding performance. Now for something a bit different: let the cat out of the bag. This odd phrase means to reveal a secret accidentally. Its origin is debated, but it's a vivid way to describe spilling the beans. I was planning a surprise party, but my sister let the cat out of the bag. It's more interesting than just saying revealed a secret, right? Here's a useful one. Miss the boat. It's not about actual boats, but about missing an opportunity. If you're late to a trend or fail to take advantage of a situation, you've missed the boat. I wanted to invest in that startup, but I missed the boat and now it's worth millions. It's a great way to express regret over lost chances. Let's look at pull someone's leg. No, it's not about physical pranks. This idiom means to joke with someone or tell them something untrue as a joke. When I told him I won the lottery, I was just pulling his leg. It's a fun way to describe playful deception. Here's an interesting one. Shoot the breeze. This doesn't involve any actual shooting. It means to chat casually about unimportant things. We were just shooting the breeze when we came up with the idea for our business. It's a relaxed way to describe informal conversations. Now for something a bit dark. Skeleton in the closet? Don't worry, we're not talking about actual skeletons. This idiom refers to a secret someone wants to hide, usually something embarrassing or shameful. He was worried his past financial troubles would be a skeleton in the closet during the job interview. It's a vivid way to describe hidden secrets. Let's lighten things up with steal someone's thunder. This has nothing to do with weather. It means to take credit for someone else's idea or to overshadow their achievement. I was about to announce my engagement, but my sister stole my thunder by announcing her pregnancy. It's a great way to describe feeling upstaged. Here's a common one. Take with a grain of salt. We're not talking about seasoning here. This idiom means to view something with skepticism or to not take it too seriously. I take my friend's stock market tips with a grain of salt. He's been wrong before. It's a useful phrase for expressing doubt without being too harsh. Mastering idioms can significantly enhance your speech, making it more engaging, relatable, and impactful. Idioms are expressions whose meanings cannot be deduced from the literal definitions of the words they contain. They often carry cultural nuances and can add color and depth to your communication. Here are some tips and strategies to help you master idioms for more impactful speech. 1. Understand the meaning and usage. Learn the context. Idioms often have historical or cultural origins. Understanding the context in which an idiom is used can help you apply it correctly. Know the connotation. Some idioms can be positive, negative, or neutral. Make sure you understand the connotation to avoid miscommunication. 2. Practice regularly. Incorporate into daily speech. Try using idioms in your everyday conversations. The more you use them, the more natural they will feel. Write them down. Keep a journal of idioms you come across. Write down their meanings and example sentences to reinforce your understanding. 3. Listen and observe. Watch movies and TV shows. Pay attention to how native speakers use idioms in different contexts. This can help you understand the nuances of their usage. Read books and articles. Literature and journalism are rich sources of idiomatic expressions. Note how authors use idioms to convey complex ideas succinctly. Use idioms sparingly. Avoid overuse. While idioms can make your speech more colorful, overusing them can make your communication seem forced or confusing. Know your audience. Some idioms may not be universally understood, especially if your audience includes non-native speakers. Choose idioms that are widely recognized. 5. Experiment with variations. Play with words. Some idioms can be adapted or modified to fit specific situations. For example, break the ice can become melt the ice in a more gentle context. Create your own. Once you're comfortable with common idioms, try creating your own variations. This can make your speech unique and memorable. 6. Get feedback. Ask for opinions. Use idioms in conversations and ask for feedback. This can help you gauge whether your usage is appropriate and effective. Join language groups. Participate in language exchange groups or forums where you can practice using idioms and receive constructive criticism. 7. Stay updated. Learn new idioms. Language is constantly evolving, and new idioms emerge over time. Stay updated by reading contemporary literature, following social media trends, and engaging in current events. Understand regional differences. Idioms can vary by region. Familiarize yourself with regional idioms if you're communicating with a diverse audience. Common idioms to get you started. Here are some commonly used idioms that can add impact to your speech. Break the ice, to initiate a conversation in a social setting. Spill the beans, to reveal a secret. Hit the nail on the head, to describe exactly what is causing a situation or problem. Let the cat out of the bag, to accidentally reveal a secret. Burn the midnight oil, to work late into the night. Cost an arm and a leg, to be very expensive. Piece of cake, something that is very easy to do. Bite the bullet, to endure a painful or otherwise unpleasant situation that is seen as unavoidable. Hit the sack, to go to bed. Under the weather, feeling ill or unwell. Mastering idioms requires practice, patience, and a keen ear for language. By understanding their meanings, practicing their usage, and being mindful of your audience, you can effectively incorporate idioms into your speech to make it more dynamic and impactful. Remember, the goal is to enhance your communication, not to complicate it, so use idioms wisely and appropriately. 1. To break the ice. Meaning, to initiate a conversation in a social setting. Example, I told a joke to break the ice at the meeting. 2. Spill the beans. Meaning, to reveal a secret. Example, I can't believe you spilled the beans about the surprise party. 3. Hit the nail on the head. Meaning, to describe exactly what is causing a situation or problem. Example, you hit the nail on the head when you said we need more communication. 4. Let the cat out of the bag. Meaning, to accidentally reveal a secret. Example, I let the cat out of the bag about the new project before it was announced. 5. Burn the midnight oil. Meaning, to work late into the night. Example, I had to burn the midnight oil to finish the report on time. 6. Cost an arm and a leg. Meaning, to be very expensive. Example, that new car cost me an arm and a leg. 7. Piece of cake. Meaning, something that is very easy to do. Example, the exam was a piece of cake. I finished it in 30 minutes. 8. Bite the bullet. Meaning, to endure a painful or otherwise unpleasant situation that is seen as unavoidable. Example, I didn't want to go to the dentist, but I had to bite the bullet. Hit the sack. Meaning, to go to bed. Example, I'm exhausted, I'm going to hit the sack early tonight. 10. Under the weather. Meaning, feeling ill or unwell. Example, I'm feeling a bit under the weather, so I might stay home today. 11. On the ball. Meaning, to be alert and efficient. Example, you need to be on the ball if you want to succeed in this job. 12. Cut corners. Meaning, to do something in the easiest or cheapest way, often sacrificing quality. Example, if you cut corners on the project, it will show in the final result. 13. In hot water. Meaning, in trouble or in a difficult situation. Example, he's in hot water with his boss for missing the deadline. 14. Throw in the towel. Meaning, to give up or surrender. Example, after hours of trying to fix the computer, I finally threw in the towel and called a technician. 15. Once in a blue moon. Meaning, very rarely. Example, I only go to the cinema once in a blue moon. 16. The ball is in your court. Meaning, it's your turn to make a decision or take action. Example, I've done all I can, now the ball is in your court. 17. Cry over spilled milk. Meaning, to be upset about something that has already happened and cannot be changed. Example, there's no use crying over spilled milk, let's just move on. 18. Break a leg. Meaning, good luck, often said to performers before they go on stage. Example, break a leg in your presentation today. 19. A dime a dozen. Meaning, something that is very common and not special. Example, those kinds of souvenirs are a dime a dozen at the tourist shops. 20. Get cold feet. Meaning, to suddenly become too frightened to do something you had planned to do. Example, I was going to ask for a raise, but I got cold feet at the last minute. 21. Kick the bucket. Meaning, to die. Example, he always said he wanted to travel the world before he kicked the bucket. 22. let sleeping dogs lie. Meaning, to avoid bringing up an old issue or problem. Example, I know you're upset, but it's better to let sleeping dogs lie. 23. The last straw. Meaning, the final problem in a series of problems that makes someone lose patience. Example, when he was late again, that was the last straw. I decided to end the relationship. 24. Pull someone's leg. Meaning, to tease or joke with someone. Example, I'm just pulling your leg. I didn't really eat your dessert. 25. Sit on the fence. Meaning, to be undecided or neutral about something. Example, you can't sit on the fence forever. You need to make a decision. 26. Through thick and thin. Meaning, through good times and bad times. Example, we've been friends through thick and thin. 27. Turn a blind eye. Meaning, to deliberately ignore something you know is wrong. Example, the manager turned a blind eye to the employee's tardiness. 28. When pigs fly. Meaning, something that will never happen. Example, sure, I'll clean my room every day when pigs fly. 29. You can't judge a book by its cover. Meaning, you can't judge someone or something based solely on appearance. Example, he might look tough, but you can't judge a book by its cover. He's actually very kind. 30. A blessing in disguise. Meaning, something that seems bad at first but turns out to be good. Example, losing that job was a blessing in disguise. I found a much better one. Remember, the key to mastering idioms is consistent practice and exposure. Try to incorporate them into your daily conversations, even if it feels a bit awkward at first. Over time, using idioms will become second nature to you. So there you have it, folks. A crash course in mastering idioms for more impactful speech. Remember, Rome wasn't built in a day, and neither is language proficiency. Take it one step at a time, and soon you'll be using idioms like a pro. Why not start by sharing your favorite idiom in the comments below? And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe for more language tips. Until next time, keep practicing and happy learning.